got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
All right, y'all, we're here, we're live. You're watching Buster Unmasked, and look, before I forget, like this video, share this video, and go to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube. It's right above my head. And subscribe, and y'all know what tonight's all about. KAW Outlaws and weed. Without a doubt, these guys were ahead of their time, and I tell you what, before I get them out here, I want to show you, we're going to do a flashback. Since it's all about weed tonight, we're going to do a flashback to probably 1999. Let's see what weed says about Jackson, Tennessee in 1999.
Jackson, Tennessee, are you ready for weed? Wrestling's extreme execution Daredevils, or so they say. I think that name stands for something else. They got an official pronouncement they want to make today. Guys, if I can get you in here, I understand you've got an announcement to make.
Yeah. Check it out. Check it out. It's finally happened. It's finally happened. Jackson. They've legalized weed in Jackson. Ah! Jackson, Tennessee, watch out. The invasion of weed. Dr. Bud Ganja, Izzy High. Tell him, Izzy. And what a better place to legalize weed than spinning. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the start of a new revolution. And it's called weed.
Okay, I guess they're off for some pizza.
All right, guys, you've seen it right there, a little flashback to probably 1999. And look, like I said, these guys were ahead of their time back then. Without a doubt, they are wrestling's extreme execution daredevils, but you know them better as we, Dr. Bud Ganja, and my main man, Izzy High. What's up, guys?
How you doing? How you doing?
All products used tonight outside of Detroit, Michigan, provided by the Flower Bowl.
Got to get that
Right
plug in, man.
Hell yeah, we're smoking on some grip cake right now, which is a hybrid and an indica. Yes, it's but yes, the Flower Bowl here outside of Detroit, Michigan.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's all about weed tonight, guys. KAW, the KAW Outlaws, September 21st, 2 weeks away. Jackson, Tennessee, the return of weed to Jackson, Tennessee. I know this. Jackson ain't seen nothing but Reggie since you guys have been gone, and they're ready for you guys to bring back that icky, sticky.
I am looking very forward to being there. I haven't seen some of these guys in 25 years. It's been a long time, and I can't wait. But we lit Jackson, Tennessee up back in the day, didn't we, Izzy?
Is Jackson where we walked around the town with the missing sign?
Yeah, with the cop that drove by, absolutely.
We were doing an angle that somebody stole Bud's bag. Shit.
It was Dundee. It was Dundee, but we didn't know that at the time.
Hey, look, I'm glad y'all said that because I actually got that promo. I got Bud's promo about his bag here in just a little bit. We'll check that out. Look, Mike Darby's with us. He said, "What's up, guys? What's up, Buster? What's up, dude? Glad you're watching." We got B-Rad. Yeah, buddy. I think that's my buddy Brad Show. One of my best friends in life. Me and this dude, man, we done a little bit of everything together.
What's up, Brad? Mike? How y'all doing?
Raised hell. I can't even go into what we done because I might incriminate either one of us, man.
Here's one thing that I do want to say about this, and a lot of people that are in the business will understand this, but I still talk to Bud on a regular basis. I used to live with the guy a few years back, man, and that's how close our friendship, our relationship still is to this day. And I take a great deal of pride in that.
Well, I was going to ask you guys about that. How often y'all actually talked or even seen each other? I know you guys were super tight.
Yeah, at least once a week, I would guess.
Definitely, yeah. And we used to see each other a lot more, but the reason that we don't see each other as much is just fine with me.
So look, Mike Darby's back with us. He said, "What's up, Bud? What's up, Izzy?"
I saw that. What's up? What's up, Mike?
So look, guys, before we really get into the weed and the KAW and all this, I think we need to give the fans a little bit of, any new fans out there that don't know nothing about you guys, just a slight history of how you guys got in the wrestling business, man. Either one of y'all can go first. It don't matter to me.
Go ahead, Bud.
All right. I was in the Navy. And
go right ahead, Bud.
I was going to be, I wanted to be a wrestler my whole life. When I was a kid, I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, watching Jerry Jarrett, Jackie Fargo, Eddie Marlin, and I wanted to be a wrestler. So when I was about to get out of the Navy, I started looking for wrestling schools, and I happened to be in Pensacola, and I found Sika, the Wild Samoans Wrestling School, and so I was trained by Sika, Yokozuna. And I wrestled Samu and Fatu, which Fatu later became Rikishi, but those guys trained me and brought me up in the Florida area, the Pensacola area, and I was wrestling as Top Gun Brett Matthews. Sika gave me that name because Top Gun was the movie out, and I just got out of the Navy.
Hey, that's a hell of a long way from Dr. Bud Ganja. I'll be honest with you, man. That's a world apart, dude.
Absolutely. Well, I took a siesta and didn't wrestle for a few years. And my name is Bud, or that's what everybody calls me. Always have my whole life. And so when they approached me with this, I was on board. I was like, okay, that makes total sense. And that kind of, I feel like I personified Dr. Bud Ganja in a way. I think we kind of lived that lifestyle, but we brought it right to everybody's face, even back then.
Well, the funny thing is with Bud's relationship with the Samoans, I got to know Maddie later on, and I used Bud as a connection to get to know Maddie because I said, "Hey, do you know a guy named Bud?" He said, "Pensacola Bud," and I was like, "Yeah, man." And he's like, "Hell yeah!" So that's how I got in with Maddie, was because of Bud's relationship with the Samoans.
So Izzy, who trained you, and how did you actually get in the business? I know you've been on before, and we went over this, but we probably got some new listeners. Give them a little replay of how you got into business, man.
When I broke in, it was the land of the giants. There was nobody under 200 pounds when I got started. And my trainer was Les Thatcher and Tracy Smothers. Rip Rogers helped with the psychology, and Bull Payne. But Les Thatcher was my main trainer. And if anybody knows history about the developmental programs and things like that, Thatcher was the guy who built the foundation for the WWE developmental program. Okay.
Right.
I also worked with Ohio Valley, which was also the developmental program. So I was fortunate that Thatcher was a good man and he taught me right. And I owe him everything for that. I have such a great deal of respect and still give Les shouts out every time I get a chance, man.
Look, we got Mike's back with us. He said, I talk to Golden on a regular basis. Our friendship is thicker than blood. Let me get these comments, and I want to touch on something with you guys. All right. Joseph Earl Dawson's with us. He says, hello, Buster. The birthday boy's in the house. Happy birthday, Joseph. Glad you're tuning in with us, man. I appreciate your support. B-Rad's back, and he said, man, I miss Maddie. So look, just kind of give these guys a little quick synopsis of your training, who trained you, how you got into business. And here's something. Let me ask you guys something. I feel like when KAW first started, there was this misconception that it was the I don't even know how to put it. The how would you even put it? The lesser than wrestlers. And now that we're hearing about, you get what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Very, you two guys, you're training, the lineage of your trainers. I mean, you don't get no more mainstream wrestling than that. You know what I mean? You don't get no better than that. And I feel like that was a big misconception of KAW, was it was just outlaw guys and this. But, man, everybody there was pretty much trained by somebody who was highly reputable in the wrestling business. What y'all's thoughts about when you first became a part of KAW? Did you feel like outlaws or outcasts, or how did you guys feel about it?
Do you want me to tell a bit of the story, Budro?
Go for it, brother.
I was brought in by Bull Payne, to help develop the cruiserweight division. And there was quite a few different agreements to get me to come in. I actually moved from outside of Detroit down to Memphis. Pardon my speech, it's my teeth. But anyhow, when I came down there, Golden didn't like the gimmick I was doing, which was American Kickboxer. And he wanted me to come up with something with a bit more flash and whatnot. And I had already done Izzy a couple little independent spots before. And I had met Bud probably a month or so before this at an independent show. And got to know Bud, and it was our gimmicks were so much alike and whatnot. And I was originally wrestling's Extreme Execution Daredevil. Okay. But then we did an angle where I ended up landing on my head, and I needed to go to my personal physician, Dr. Bud Ganja, who has a PhD in THC and a minor degree in herpetology. And that's how we brought Bud into television. If I remember that correctly, is that right?
That is true. I was wrestling independent. I had actually met Motley before, which, in my opinion, should be in the Hall of Fame as well. He's a Memphis staple. We were doing independent shows and training together, and then him and Izzy came to me with that idea, and I kind of had butterflies because I just came back into wrestling. I was seriously just to have something to do. I wasn't looking to go up a ladder in wrestling or anything like that, or be on TV. And I never saw that as lesser wrestlers. I just saw it as Memphis's version of ECW.
Right.
And I was all about that. And the fact that he had music playing through the matches. I mean, Terry Golden, my first match was with a guy named Edric, and it was his first match too. And Golden says, 20 minutes, bud, you're over. Y'all do a good job, or I'm sending Mabel out there. And that was my first match at KAW. And we did a good job because Mabel didn't have to come out there.
Mabel did come out on one of my matches, man.
Well,
but it was fucked up because as big as Mabel was, he hit me with the splash, and it was like a house on top of me. All you could see was like my feet sticking out. That was it.
Right. So, Bud, Sid Vicious died a couple weeks ago, and I seen something on Facebook where you were talking about he was the first guy to powerbomb you through a table off a stage, if I'm thinking right.
Yeah.
So he kind of told his Mabel story. Let's talk about that first that Sid powerbomb off the stage through the table, man.
Well, now I did not suggest that or want that.
Right.
Izzy set that up, and he did that because I pulled a little prank on him when he was
I'll tell the story in a minute. I'll tell the story in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, I pulled a prank on him when he was on some hallucinogens. Anyway, so yes, and he goes, "Will you do that for me, brother? This is Sid now." And I've noticed Sid. I've seen Sid just kill people, and so I'm like, man, look, I'm fixing to have a kid. Come on, man. He goes, man, I promise, brother. I promise I'll take care of you. So yes, I went through with it. He powerbombed me off. It was like a 4-foot stage, and he's like 6'8".
Right.
So it was like a 13, 14-foot drop through the table. No biggie.
Look, Izzy, I noticed Bud told that story when he said, I'm finna have a kid. He said that shit like he was pregnant, man. Like, look, I don't know about this, man.
If you watch the video, I make Sid tell me he loved me before he gives me the choke slam over the top rope. And you could visually see him say, "I love you." So let me tell you. Go ahead, bud.
He got both of us that night. He got Izzy first, and then me.
So let me tell the story just because I think it'll be so funny. You know, I got your permission, Budro.
Absolutely, go for it.
Right on. There was about this is the reason why Bud ended up getting power bombed off the stage. It was my payback for a rib he pulled on me. All right. And what the rib was he used to be the manager of a bar called Muggs. And at Muggs, there was about 7 of us sitting outside of Muggs doing acid. And there was about 12 or 13, 14 people inside the bar that knew there were 7 of us outside doing acid. So what they would do is every time that we'd walk back in the bar, they would replay the exact same scene that they were doing the first time you walked in, all the way to the person singing the same karaoke fucking song. So it got so bad that his girlfriend at the time walked in, and we get a call outside of the bar. And we're like, what the fuck's up? And she's like, somebody's got to come get me. We're like, what? It's like, somebody come get me. I said, where are you at? She's like, I'm in the bathroom. I said, well, just walk out. She said, I'm not walking back through that fucking bar again. But yeah, because Bud pulled that rib on me, man, and they must have replayed that. My moment of clarity, by the way, was I was jumping on the trampoline and I come out of it like, ah! And I was in the sky and had a moment of clarity. And Bud set me up with that. So my revenge for Bud doing that to me was I got Sid to power bomb him off fucking stage.
Man, there you go. There you go, Bud. You got to watch them ribs, man. You never know where they end up, dude.
But later on, because we did that, Sid got me my meeting with Canyon with WCW, and I was in the middle of negotiating a contract when they shut down. So
that sucks.
It is what it was. The day after my fucking birthday, even March 26th.
Damn.
No good. Yeah.
So look,
Mike says Motley deserves to be in there 100%.
100%. I agree with that too. Look, Motley's the first guy to get me in the ring, and first thing he did was slow me down because I was young, big, strong, aggressive, and Motley was the first guy to really get me in the ring, slow me down, and kind of start showing me how this stuff's supposed to work. Man, I think Motley's had a hand in everybody. I think most 90% of the people who come through this area over the past 35 years, Motley's probably had some kind of hand on them, helping them or training them or whatever.
Agreed. And you forgot stiff while you were saying stuff.
Well, that was what aggressive means to me, but that's aggressive. See, that's my new. I've got new words sometimes, but I don't use stiff no more because it sounds rude. I use aggressive, man. I just aggressive, man.
Gotcha.
So look,
I met Motley in Jackson, Mississippi, working for a promotion in Jackson. Probably 2 years before I ever came to Memphis. But he was.
I didn't know that.
Yep. And that's where I had met Motley, was in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, Motley used to wrestle everywhere around this area. Actually, first place I met Motley was in I think Sykeston, Missouri, and he was actually the referee for a match I had. He
and I had our own wrestling business there in Memphis for a while. Tri-state area wrestling. So, we do independent shows. That's what we did.
Well, let me ask you something, Bud. Izzy said it earlier. He kind of uprooted his whole life to come to Memphis from Detroit. Are you from Memphis? Are you from Florida? Where were you originally from? And how did you end up in Memphis, man?
I was born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee.
No shit.
I grew up watching Memphis wrestling when it was, I think even before it was USWA. But like I said, Jackie Fargo, Jerry Jarrett, Eddie Marlin, Tommy Gilbert, before their kids wrestled. So, I mean, that's when I was young. And I watched Jerry Lawler turn on Jackie Fargo, or not turn on him, but come out of the crowd as a woman and beat the hell out of him with the chains. And that day I knew I wanted to be a wrestler. But I went to Florida with the Navy. And then I moved back to Memphis after Pensacola. My brother was getting married. I came up there and decided to stay. And I stayed for a while and then moved back to Florida eventually.
Now, here's a crazy
wrestling in Memphis. I loved wrestling in Memphis because that's where I watched wrestling. So I got to wrestle there. And I loved that. It was awesome.
Now, one of the craziest things is I lived in Dayton, Ohio when I was younger, and the Memphis promotion actually came on television in Dayton, Ohio on Channel 22 at noon. And and crazy enough, I was such a big fan of Tommy Rich, somebody who we're going to see here in a few. And cool enough, man, being a hero of mine, he's one of the few heroes that I actually had that didn't disappoint me. And Tommy Rich was cool as fuck to me and Tarek, and he looked out for us a bit when we were getting started, man. So that's another big reason for this Memphis reunion for me, because there's a couple people that are going to be there that I truly want to thank, because believe it or not, man, I was a 14-year-old homeless kid at one time. And all I had was a dream, for real. And I have tattooed down my spine. It says, "Dare to Dream," man. And those guys helped that 14-year-old homeless kid be able to live his dreams. And I owe those guys so fucking much. So coming there and being able to thank them personally is really a big deal for me.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of people. Hell, like I hadn't seen Bud in 20 years, 25 years probably. There's a lot of guys I hadn't seen in forever, man, that I'm looking forward to seeing there. And here's something, Izzy. I seen you made a post, I don't know, over the last few days, talking about being outlaws and legends. So let's talk about that. Let me ask both of you guys this. When in the middle of KAW it was going on, and after now, did you ever foresee that us guys would be sharing the bill with all the classic stars of Memphis wrestling? Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, all these guys who are, I mean, the quintessential Memphis guys. Like we kind of said, KAW, it was kind of, they looked at us like the outcast at that time. So what's your thoughts about now? It all kind of coming full circle. And
hold on a second. Hold on a second. I think you've got this a little ass backwards. You might be a little dyslexic. They're sharing the bill with us.
There you go. That's the attitude I like right there.
My face is on a fucking poster too, yo.
All right?
And I'm on the same fucking show as they are. We walk in the same fucking door. Don't get it confused.
Kick-ass wrestling attitude. KAW attitude right there.
And we earned that. I've earned it. I beat myself to fucking death, and I earned that. And walking in there with my head up and being able to do it on my fucking terms without kissing anybody's ass, fucking ain't right. You want to call me a gypsy, call me an outlaw, but don't forget to call me a legend in the same fucking breath.
Bud, that's it. That's that kick-ass wrestling mentality right there. What's your thoughts about the situation? We know where Izzy stands. They're sharing the bill with us.
Well, now you know why Izzy did most of the talking back in there.
Yeah, he never short for words. He never short for words now.
All personal and political stuff aside, I am honored to be on the bill with some of those guys.
Yeah, true.
I really am, but they're not above me and they're not below me. But I'm so honored to be on the bill with some of those guys.
Right.
Yeah,
I feel the same way about
it. Please don't think that I'm discounting that we're truly living this childhood dream. Don't think that I discount that in any way, shape, or form.
Mike took a belly to back from Motley, knocked the wind out of him. Yeah, Motley can do that to you.
Said Motley laughed, and then told him obviously you didn't take it right. So there you go. So
Bud and I used to take 360s for Motley. Are you fucking kidding me? Turning us into flips. The
dude,
gravity bomb.
I looked for a damn clip of that, and I've got it somewhere, but I've got thousands and thousands of damn clips. I wanted to show that. I was thinking the same thing, man. The first time I seen that, I thought, well, that's some cool ass shit right there, man. And let me go on and say it, the fucking tarantula. I think you was actually the first guy I ever seen do that, man. I thought, that's some fucking cool shit right there, man.
I thought the same thing when he did that. I was like, damn. Izzy taught me a lot. I was taught fundamentals. I was taught by Samoans. So, I was taught how to bump. I was taught how to sell. And I was taught fundamentals to the point where I could wrestle you for 15 minutes in one spot and never let go of you. But he taught me how to fly. I never thought I would be that guy.
Right.
And I was. And I enjoyed it.
But in the same regard, I made him set up the ring in his backyard. He had a ring, and a trampoline. So yeah, I mentioned the trampoline earlier, but anyhow, so what more could you dream of? And when I had days off beginning, when I was getting started, I was in the ring in a wrestling gym on my days off because this is an art form. This is a craft. Right. And just like anything else in this world, you get back what you put into it. And it was said earlier, I moved my whole life from Michigan down to Memphis, Tennessee, because I believed in what we were doing. I slept from place to place to place, and I ended up at Bud's place for a while. But I stayed place to place just because I believed in what we were doing.
Right.
And that's 100% shoot. Nobody can take that away from me. I invested my life into KAW. That's a shoot.
Let me ask you this, Izzy. You mentioned earlier when you came down here, Terry wanted you to change your gimmick. And here's the thing. You were a guy who already had started. You already had a name, had built a name for yourself out on the independents. I didn't never know who you are, but I knew the name The American Kickboxer. I'd already heard about you long before I ever set eyes on you. And truthfully, when we first met, I don't know who finally told me, maybe you. I didn't realize you were The American Kickboxer when I met you as Izzy High. Right. But you already kind of had you had built a name for yourself out there on the indies. And I mean, when I say a name, your name was getting mentioned right along the same way guys like CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, these kind of guys that, really fucking good, great wrestlers, great fucking characters too. You had already made a name for yourself and was building that name. What was your first thought when you got here and Terry wanted you to do something different? What went through your mind?
Awesome. I thought it was awesome, and I'll explain why. Because this promoter who is a con artist, the thief, a piece of fucking garbage, and I won't even say his fucking name. But this piece of garbage said that he made me. Okay. Instead of saying he gave me a platform to work on and he made money off of me, he said that he made me. He made American Kickboxer. So when Golden said to me, hey, I want you to do something different, it then became a challenge. It became, okay, cool. Let's see if I can really do this. Let me see if I can get a whole different gimmick over, And I was fortunate enough that Golden gave me creative kind of control. That was a little bit of my deal when I came down there as well. I was to help write television for the cruiserweights and put together the cruiserweights. And then I helped bring in talent from different places as well,
Right.
because I had already established that. Look at that.
There you go.
The man, the myth, and the legend.
But let me explain something real quick, man. As he does this, and this is 100% shoot, because I might not be able to ever say this again to the world. And let's get this out there. That man right there, man, Dr. Bud, is what truly a man is. Okay, he walked away from this business and took care of his responsibilities, and he raised my niece, the most awesome fucking girl in the world, man. And so many guys in this business, they walk away from their families and everything else, and they forget what's important. But that little girl right there, Savannah, hey, Izzy loves you, baby girl.
Good. That's good, Izzy.
Savannah,
But
thank
Bud-
you so much for being on the show.
It's Buster.
Hey, Buster.
Hey,
Say you what?
You're welcome.
thank you, girl. I appreciate you so much for coming on.
if anything is taken away from this show, it's that man right there is what the definition of a man truly is. And please take note of it. You guys want to call us outlaws, you want to call us this, that, and the other, but that's a man right there. That's a true man. Take fucking note of it.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
I love you, man.
I love you too.
Obviously, Bud, I mean, I don't think you could be held in any higher esteem by Izzy. I mean,
No.
I hold him to the same. I mean, he knows he has a place here, and he's in our hearts always. And he's my brother, right?
You heard the first time that his mom called the house, and I answered the phone. God bless her, man. I answered the phone, and she asked, "Is Bud there?" And I said, "Yeah." And the first thing she said to Bud was, "Oh God, I thought you'd become a Yankee."
look, guys, we got a pop in. I didn't know if it happened or not, but we got a pop in. If y'all don't mind, I want to bring this guy on. I ain't even gonna give him an intro. I'm just gonna pop him on and let y'all see him.
All right.
Hold up, guys. I gotta get. I
Is
gotta get.
We're having some testicle difficulties.
No, here we go. I just had the wrong set.
What up, guys?
What's up? How you doing?
That guy right there.
What's up, girl?
How you doing, Terry?
What's up, y'all? Calm down over there, Izzy.
We're close to the same haircut, Golden.
You gonna be all right, Izzy?
Yeah, I was saying we got close to the same haircut now.
Right. Well, I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm looking around at you three and me too. There's a lot less hair than there used to be in KAW. I can say that
But there's
now,
a lot
man.
of smiles. There's a lot of smiles on this fucking
Brother,
screen.
my hair goes all the way down to the middle of my back. Just so you know.
But
So
you
does
live.
mine.
So does mine, except I have to wipe to shave it.
How y'all guys doing, man? Good to
I'm
see
so
you.
awesome,
How you
dude.
doing?
I'm awesome, dude.
Looking forward to seeing you.
Me too, dude. You have no idea. It's gonna be a blast. We're gonna have a good time. It's been a long time, but we're gonna unwind a little bit. I promise you.
Good.
Yeah.
This one right here is so excited.
I can't wait. I'm excited to see her.
So Terry, KAW, man, reunion, September 21st, 2 weeks away. A night to remember. Man, you got the meet and greet, the Hall of Fame ceremony, the tribute to Lawler and Dundee. You kind of the guy who got all this thing rolling. So talk to us a minute about this thing.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I am more excited about just seeing the guys from KAW than any of it. That was the whole gimmick from the front end. That's the main thing we wanted to do. I mean, I'm over the moon ecstatic about just all of us getting together and just hanging out and, talking old stories and just, chilling for just, we can find
About a year ago,
a good time.
About a
Man.
year ago, Golden said he was going to make this happen. He said it at least a year ago, chatting with me. We're going to make this happen. We're going to make this get together happen.
Well, and you know, when we all get together, we're going to make an announcement that's going to. I've been talking with one other guy, old school guy. I'm not even going to give you away who it is, but I've had a great conversation with one of our old guys, and we're going to put something in place where this is going to become a normal thing, and it's going to be cool, man. We're gonna, you know, we're thinking, you know, I watched a little bit of the show earlier, and you know, Hellraiser, you were asking them, you know, what their concept was when they first came on. Like, what did they think? Were we just kind of the misfits or the
right, you
know, the throwaways or whatever? You know, we were the undesirable that became the desirable.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, we flipped it all because you remember when we were rolling, everybody wanted to come. Everybody. You go back. I mean, I've been going through old tapes just because I've had to go through old tapes. Damn, guys, I forgot half the people that came. I mean,
man.
There was a lot of guys that came through KAW that had good time. I mean, when you go back and you start looking at some of the old video that I hadn't seen in 25 years,
right,
and you start seeing some of the guys that were there, man, it's like, shit, I didn't know he was there. I forgot that guy was there. What the hell, this guy? You know, like, it's history.
Earlier.
I mean, it's just crazy when you really see who all came through there, and it's not because they had to. Including like Sid, y'all were talking about Sid. Sid called us. He wanted to come to us. Mm-hmm. I mean, I talked to Sid 2 weeks before he passed.
Right.
And, you know, we laughed a little bit, and we had a good conversation. I hadn't talked to him in many years, and we got to talk. It was about this event, actually. And, you know, unfortunately, what happened with Sid happened, but God rest his soul. He came because he wanted to. He liked what we were doing.
But I also think with that, behind the scenes, it wasn't anything unusual to go to your lake house for a weekend, you and I. And it was a collaborative effort with you and I and a few other people that we were able to bring talent from all around as a collective, as a collaboration.
Right.
Yeah, that was that was the difference, I think, as well, because there's either this guy's the booker or that guy's the booker, and there's only this much space between your ears, and you can only come up with so much. But as a collective, we were able to create a lot of fucking magic.
Absolutely. You know, I feel like it's better that way because, you know, I think both of you will agree with this, that your gimmicks were just extensions of who you really were and what you believed in and what you liked and what you were a part of. Hellraiser, I mean, that mask was the best part of his gimmick. I mean, him wearing that mask saved us from years of pain and misery.
Hey, don't start talking shit now. I'll get up right now and do my fucking role.
You gonna cut me off?
I'll do it right now. I'll scream and shut this motherfucker right down, y'all.
Hey, look, I don't care what Hellraiser says. I don't care what he says. He has to admit the Ronnie James Dio and the deal he did with Ron. What was the gimmick even called, Hellraiser? I can't even.
Mullins, I'm glad you brought that up, Terry, because we were just talking about Izzy. He was already known as the American kickboxer, and you bring him down here, and then all of a sudden you want him to change who he is, and you kind of did me and Ron the exact same way when it switched over from KAW to MCW, and what got me was he said, I asked him what went through his mind, and he said, awesome, you know, that's kind of the same way me and Ron felt. We had been doing the same thing for years and years and years. It's just like Izzy. We both looked at it when y'all approached us with the mullets like it was a challenge.
Well, it was a challenge, but it was also just like weed and the mullets. They're kind of the same. They both kind of have a lot of the same elements, all right? there's so many cool, funny, skitty character gimmicky things that you could do with weed and still be respected and serious. You know, the whole gimmick y'all did with the bag, losing the bag, that shit was funny. But when you had matches, it was real. Hellraiser as Hellraiser was one-dimensional. No disrespect, but it was a one-dimensional character. Hard to be a babyface ever under a hood. And it was just it was punching, stomping, kicking ass, and whatever. But when you did the mullets, I mean,
personality,
your whole deal changed up. It was fun to watch. You guys were laughing. If you're in the ring and you can have a serious match and laugh your ass off, that's great. And we just, I
also look at it like you would never see Charles Bronson in the Three Stooges, right? Because it would take something off of Bronson, or it would take something off the Three Stooges. And the American Kickboxer is a very rigid gimmick. Right. It's a disciplined gimmick, and I didn't have the freedoms with American Kickboxer that I do with Izzy High. I can be ha-ha. I can, truly just be out there and be truly myself. To both of them are me. But again,
as a credit to you, Izzy, that whole deal repeated itself, and I made the same decision. And I think you'll be okay with the comparison. Because if you look at it 18 months later, I did almost the identical same thing. You know who with?
Who's that?
American Dragon.
Oh, yeah. But I told you, but hold on a second.
Brian Danielson. He
did the same
hold
on. Here's a funny thing. After I left, two people that I had been pitching to bring down there ended up there. Reckless Youth and the Blue Meanie. I had been trying to bring them in for us and tried to bring them in, and they showed up after I fucking left. And I was like, oh, shit.
You should have stayed.
Yeah, right.
We had a lot of good times, man. A lot of good times. I had a lot of fun.
I got tired of standing beside the highway with that little headlock for food sign. So,
so let me ask you this, Terry. We got two examples of you bringing guys in and wanting to change them when they're kind of set into who they are. And I'll be honest with you, I love David Lee Mullet because it let me I'd been under that hood so long and just never got to really show no personality, no nothing. But I don't know if I'd ever come out of the hood if y'all hadn't approached us and laid it out to us like you did. So we know what it's like from our end. So what's it like from your end to know that you're calling some guys in and you got to hit them with a new gimmick, and like these guys have been set in their ways all this time, man?
Well, I mean, I think you'll all agree in the wrestling business that if you're married to your gimmick, I mean, if you're not open to change and open to evolve, then wrestling's the smallest part of the whole business. Right. The match is really the smallest part. It's really all entertaining, especially in that time. We were just coming out of the shit and going into the realistic stuff. So that originally, weed was so far ahead of its time.
Right. I mean,
we couldn't pull off 20% of the stuff we did on television now.
Oh no.
I mean, like I'm scared to even let somebody post the crap now. We did.
But the funny thing, you had originally pitched being a little to me.
Yeah.
And I had said to you, I said, man, you brought me in to speak. You want me on television. The minute that I fuck up and I don't use that Southern accent, it'll kill the gimmick.
And you're all right by not doing it. It worked out. Everything happens for a reason.
And that's when I pitched Izzy High, because I had that in my back pocket. And that's something that I would advise anybody,
Look, some of the tapes I was watching the other day, but I don't know if you remember this or not. But when you hosted the show, you remember the week I swear I've not laughed so hard. And then it was remember when remember Van Harding when Van was doing the drug test.
Oh yeah, and I switched.
And I think it was Alki that went and had to take his drug test, and he'd come out with the little cup, and then he'd give him the milk jug full of urine. And then Bud switched the names on the piss test with Van, and Van failed his test. I mean, it was just, we did some good stuff back then, man. It was really entertaining. I mean, it would still work today if there was. There's just not. I don't think the local guys, just will buy into something enough now. That I haven't been in a locker room in a lot of years. I mean, a lot. When I walked away, we hadn't been at all.
The beginning of this conversation was about our training and our lineage, and I think a lot of the difference now is we were wrestlers, and you have guys that are playing wrestlers right now.
Yeah,
and I still teach to this day, and guys come in with what they think they know about wrestling, and I compare that to a half a glass of milk is what they come in with. Wow. And I got water. Okay. And in order for me to give them the water that I have to completely empty that half a glass of milk just to fucking start with. And that's what we're dealing with right now on the independent scene. It's guys that think they know what the business is, and they're playing.
I'm not sure that me or Bud got what you were just saying about the water and the milk.
Oh, it's very simple.
Come on, Hellraiser, give us something to go.
So look. I've actually got a match. It's going to get a copyright strike on it. It's about 7 minutes and 8 seconds long. Weed versus the Littles. Early on, Anita Little's out there with them. Y'all want to check this out?
Do it.
While we're now, look, guys. I do not know if we're going to be able to talk over this. So if we can't, you got 7 minutes. Just watch the shit, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
All right.
Team.
Yeah, you can. I can hear you. Yeah.
Not all of you.
What the hell's the deal with that? I need a raise. That's kind of why.
Bud, you still got all that hair, don't you?
We've got a lot of hair.
The Littles in the ring have Dr. Bud Ganja. They set him up.
Oh, I love that KW logo.
Takes him over to Benny.
Oh shit! I'm learning shit, dudes. Talk. Y'all talk.
Hello, what are you doing?
I just lowered the sound on the video so we could actually hear each other and the people could hear us talk. Talk, guys. KAW.
Itty Little getting his ass kicked by weed right now.
What I think is important with television is we took turns highlighting. Do you understand what I mean? Being the center point. With any kind of stage production or anything like that, you have to narrow the spotlight. And that's what we did, taking turns doing. Television match.
So who was the girl with? I can't remember.
Her name is Denise.
Skipping.
Anita Little, yes. Her name is Denise.
Anybody ever know what happened to her?
She moved back up to Ohio and got married again.
So talk to me about this. There was also a bigger guy with no, that's with the little, the Littles. There was not only Anita, there was a bigger guy. Who the fuck was he?
That was my best friend and her boyfriend actually. His name was Kelly Clark. And
I remember Kelly.
Then, I worked at Mugs, so all these cats hung out at Mugs.
We all hung out at Mugs.
You're damn right. Ooh, a wrestling move. Damn.
We lost Izzy, guys.
He'll be back, or maybe he won't. You might piss him off, Terry.
Well, looking at this now, Terry, what do you think about it, man? It looks raw, man. It's good.
It really was. I mean, it was a lot cleaner and crisper on TV then, but now, I mean, this is like fourth generation footage we're looking at. So
Yeah,
it's not as good as it was when it was on on TV. But I mean, just the
Energy. The energy from the guys in the ring. The enthusiasm. That's what I don't see a lot of nowadays. You can watch these.
Even though a lot of the matches were chaotic, they still made sense, and they still flowed together. Like it wasn't just like completely unhinged and just
well, I mean, I think it may look chaotic, but
Izzy, you back with us, man? I didn't see you down there.
Oh, cool.
He's back. But yeah, I mean, we were getting closer to the crowd, which they loved, and you remember they brought stuff for us to use. They actually enjoyed it when we were out there. So we tried to keep one in the ring to do, because it was TV, of course. But
And the other thing is, I was setting up Bud as well. With my size, you remember tag teams made up for the size guy being called the masters of tag team and things like that. So that it wasn't even a concern or looked at with the size of the team. It goes back like the Rock and Roll Express and those guys. So being able to be cohesive and smooth and things like that, I think was a big part of that.
he says as he does a plancha onto me.
Like you can.
So this was in Mardi Gras in Memphis, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. It was Spinnaker's is in Jackson.
Jackson, yeah.
Yeah. I used to love Spinnaker's, man, the way the ring was kind of set down in that pit and you had that upper deck where the fans were kind of leveled off with you. I thought that was
I enjoyed wrestling there. I
thought that was a really, really cool setup, man, at Spinnaker's. I really liked it.
Yeah, they were almost like over you. It was
right.
Pretty cool.
We did a house show somewhere, and I can't remember what the town was, Golden. It was like a 10 shed. And
I know it was in Mississippi.
The Coors
round, like kind of an arch building.
Yeah, the Coors Light.
Yeah, it was somewhere in Mississippi. I do remember that.
That was one of my favorite.
Didn't they call it like the Silver Dome or something?
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite house shows that we did, man. That place was so live for a minute. But yeah, I remember that one. Pardon me, please?
Was that not New Albany? With the building was like a Kiwanis hut. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was New Albany.
Yeah, it was a boxing gym as well. I think.
Smaller city than New Albany, man. It was smaller than that. It was smaller.
Oh, really?
But that was one of my favorite house shows.
Why New Albany's?
What?
New Albany's so memorable for me because going through fire up my damn nose in New Albany burnt my nostrils out for like 3 weeks, man.
Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, hey, look. I hit the ring. I think him.
Let me tell a story on these guys. Let me tell a story on these guys real quick. These guys right here, Rick and John, man. John just passed away a couple years ago, but these two guys, when I first broke into the business, took such good care of me. And they were the first monsters that I ever worked with. And when Golden was looking for teams to bring in, I said, let me get a hold of the War Machines, man, because they had done such great things for me and took care of Tarek and I. I wanted to do my best to try to do a favor for those guys. But yeah, that's Rick and John, the War Machines. They were awesome.
Yeah, they're good. I think they were from either the Kentucky area or Ohio area.
Yeah, they're from Kentucky.
Kentucky, yeah. I worked with them a few times up in Kentucky. They're great guys. Great guys.
Yeah, they were. John both. Rick passed away. Both died. But yeah, one of them passed away recently. But yeah, they were super guys, and because they had taken such good care. Yeah, because they had taken such good care of us, I wanted to be able to return the favor to them.
I got one question, Golden.
And again, that's what
Did we ever see Anita Little again after that? It's like I don't think you ever seen her again after that.
I don't know. I don't. I'm wondering what I was sitting there trying to think whatever happened to her, how she ended up off the show. I think it was kind of she just kind of went away.
She bartended at Muggs and was a friend of mine. And I don't even remember who just said, "Hey, why don't you come over here and be Anita Little?" But that happened, and then I introduced the idea of Kelly being Mongo Lloyd Little, and that big old dude, what Buster was talking.
Yeah, he was a big old boy.
Yeah,
that's what we were just talking about.
Huh?
Well, that goes to what we were just talking about, being a collaborative effort. Just in that match alone, you brought in Anita, and then Mongo, and then I brought in the War Machines with Terry. And that's what I mean about KAW being such a collaborative effort and all of us trying to create a better product. And
and that's the only way it would have ever done what it did, was because there was so many guys that bought in, like truly bought in. And, out of all the people I've met in my life, I mean, this group of guys, I feel like that the strongest bond that I've had with, a group of guys, we hadn't talked in 25 years. And it's like, shit, I could, it was like yesterday. I'm just like, I was trying to buds by the Charles.
That was my favorite time wrestling and my favorite company to wrestle for.
It was a lot of fun, man.
Lots of fun. And we had, almost 100% freedom of our own creativity. I mean, you would stop us if we went too far, but we
I don't know. I can't remember too many times. Well, I mean, we went too far many times. I didn't stop us.
and here's something that I wrote about.
Look, I think I made the comment on Buster's show one other time when I said, absolutely, there's no way that anybody from the television station ever watched our show, because we would have got kicked off a year before we ended it.
Here's the thing, but when we first had the daytime show, right? When they changed our time slot, I wrote about this in a blog once. When they changed our time slot, I thought we were sunk. And then we followed Soul Train. And I realized every fucking bar in Memphis had Soul Train on in the background.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if they were playing the music, but they had it on in the background. And I was like, holy fucking shit, we're being seen everywhere.
I agree. That was, you're exactly right.
I thought we were fucking sunk.
And how many times did we sell out the New Daisy?
You could have.
How many times? I had so much fun at the New Daisy. That was the best.
Yeah, man. What a great time. Great time.
But how many people can say that they consistently sold out the Daisy the way we did?
Nobody. A lot of people tried, but no one else ever did. I don't think anybody else ever sold it out at all.
I don't think so either.
And let me tell you something else. The Penguin. If I could shout out to anybody, I use Penguin as a template for a hype guy and training hype guys and teaching hype guys around the country when I teach seminars. The Penguin is the fucking guy, man. And he's the template that I use to teach hype guys.
He's going to be here on the 21st too.
Yeah, awesome. Man. Really look forward. Let me tell you the power. Some people will never understand the power that KAW had. And let me be, Bud and I could call up the fucking biggest radio station in Memphis just because we were bored and be like, hey, could we come in and program the show tonight? They'd be like, yeah, come on in. And Bud and I would sit there all fucking night, baked out of our skulls, fucking telling them what to play and just promoting and having such a good fucking time, man. People don't get that.
Yeah. It's wild. But I mean,
Yeah.
I think that we're going to have a very, very well-represented, well-rounded crew there on the 21st.
Right on.
We have reached out to everybody and anybody. And if there's anybody out there who is involved with KW, and I mean on any level, I don't care if you were a ring guy or whatever, we want you at this show because we want to reunite, everybody get together, have a great time one more time, and just everybody see each other. I mean, it doesn't matter to me who it is, how they were involved, how long they were involved, whether it was one match or 50, doesn't matter. If you went through the trenches with us in this deal, you're part of the game. So, I want to open that invitation to anybody and everybody. We would love for you to everybody that can make it on the 21st. So it's going to be great. It'll be a lot of fun.
So look, Terry, you mentioned earlier taking it too far. So we got to mention the other team in that match we just saw. The Littles, another one of that's your creation, man. So talk to us a little bit about the Littles in KAW.
Man, I think everybody knows that the Littles was just a spinoff of one of the greatest movies ever made, Deliverance. I mean, that's pretty much all it was. I mean, me and Jet were sitting at the house one night, and he thought I was stupid, but I'm like, man, we gotta do something with around. All right, if you watched our show very long, there was a couple major factors in the entire KAW deal. 2 movies. It was The Littles, which was Deliverance, and it was Pulp Fiction. So, I mean, if you went off of those, that was a lot of this creativity and it was a lot of the characters and the like Pulp Fiction was way ahead of its time when it came out.
Definitely.
And that's Deliverance was a classic when I watched it, but it was still relevant. It's still relevant today. You can go watch that movie now if you've never seen it. It's like, golly, that's wild. Same with Pulp Fiction.
It's an interval of Cheech and Chong.
It's like, I mean, it's just those were 2 really big influences in our entire program, but not just the exact characters there, but the concept of how those movies worked and played, and like Weed being so creative in those characters being able to develop in so many different avenues and so many different ways that they could get over and do funny skits and be serious all at the same time, and you didn't know if they were going to be laughing or killing you. But I mean,
we did a promo once.
Especially when Motley was part of Weed.
Yeah, I mean, it was
really
great.
didn't know.
Motley and T was a big influence on that. And another thing, if y'all remember correctly, we didn't really have heels and faces. We had characters, and it was weird in a way.
And see, that's something I think that's missing all over wrestling is the characters, the different individual personalities, man. I really think that's one of the things that's missing today, big time.
Well, I think it's missing, but it's also, we could go to one town and we could be hated. The next town they're loved. The young kids now don't know how to change that concept to be able to fit the crowd. You got to change on the fly and do what works.
Yep.
So I mean, there's no guarantee. Everything's gray. So you have to be able to adjust and adapt in order to fit in. And we were like that all over the place. We may be in one place, and if Hollywood's involved, they go crazy. But if he wasn't involved, they may have crapped on me. It didn't even matter. But we just worked accordingly.
Right.
So I could have had a match with Motley, and theoretically Motley would be the heel most times. But there was a lot of times where I was the heel because people loved Weed.
Right.
So it didn't really matter. We just adjusted it and moved on.
Well, look, Izzy was just fixing to mention a promo, and you mentioned the Pulp Fiction influence. I got a little promo here that obviously Pulp Fiction influence. Let's check this out.
Littles! This might have been our last shot tonight. But you see, we've been contorting with Billy Bong Thornton. And you know what he has told us? He has told us he can see into the future. He can see into the past. And what he sees in the future is us whipping your ass.
There you go.
Do you guys know where that came from?
Oh, he had a lot of those.
let me explain where that came from at that time, man. And this is a shout out, and I hope somebody gives him a shout out while we're there at the reunion. But the Dream Machine, Troy Graham.
Oh yeah, and I saw a video with Troy. We had Troy at the show one night.
I
Yeah,
was
Troy was awesome.
I was spending some time with Troy at that time, man.
Yeah.
And that was me kind of giving Troy a shout out. I said, check out this promo, man, because he was hanging out at the tattoo shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was me giving a shout out.
I can't remember.
Pardon me, please?
What was the tattoo guy's name that was at all of our shows?
Mr. Bill.
Yeah, Mr. Bill. That's right.
Yeah, Dave and Mr. Bill. Yeah.
He is still around?
He is.
You need to call him and invite him. I'd love to see him.
All right.
I know Dave still has a shop down there in Memphis. I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Awesome.
man. Dave is the one that had the hearse, if you remember.
I remember.
Mr. Bill.
Yeah, I was hanging out with the Dream Machine at Dave's tattoo shop. And I said, I'm going to give you a shout out, Dream. Watch our promo. And that's where that came from. That whole rhyme and everything else, that was me giving a shout out to Dream Machine.
Yeah, Dream is awesome, man.
Yeah, one of the best talkers in the ever.
Fucking
ever. So look, Terry, before we end this thing off and stuff, here's the thing, man. What does this mean to you, man? You personally, you've been out of the business for 20 years, 20 years basically, kind of jumped back in the wrestling business, kind of dipped your toe in a little bit here and there, then your foot, then your knee.
Now dived in head first.
Now you're head first. So how big a deal is this for you to pull an event like this off? And not just that, but this all started from an idea of a KAW reunion at the Genesis.
I mean, that's it. I mean, it was and you were there. I mean, we had the conversation, and this whole deal was going to be a full-blown just KAW reunion show. And then, hell, we couldn't, at the end of the day, it come down to there wasn't going to be enough guys that could work.
Right.
And or enough guys that I wanted to work that would work, if you know what I'm saying, just to protect them from themselves.
Sure.
So, I mean, and then we my first intention was to do a show, and then I got to thinking, well, shit, I mean, let's just do a reunion and get together. And for some reason, I talked to Randy Hales a couple of times, and I said, look, a lot of my guys never got any credit. Your guys never really got any credit. I'm talking about the guys that were pushed all the time on their show. I'm talking about the core guys that ran the house, that ran the shows, were at all the house shows, his guys that were the backbone of his company also. Not USWA, not any of the stuff from the old school deal, but the core of his guys that really never get any appreciation. We never got any appreciation. Even though we were kicking their ass, they never acknowledged it. They knew it, but they never really acknowledged it.
And they worked out at the same gym as we did.
Yeah, and it wasn't the boys. It wasn't the boys. I mean, all the boys were fine. It's just, it's that, it's that Memphis wrestling persona that we're better than you, even though you're doing the same thing and you're kicking our ass all over the place. But, we were going to do, we thought we could get together and get local guys to work matches. And then we would also, have a reunion, and then that way we could have matches. So the problem there was we couldn't get anybody to work together. None of the independent guys, because I wanted to take, my concept was, let's take the best of the best. Some from Jackson, they have a local promotion. A couple from Memphis has local promotions. Another area over here in Dresden and whatever area, they had a local promotion. Let's take the best matches from all these different areas, bring them all in and do, matches, like 6-7 matches that would be good quality matches, and let our guys work with those guys in a way to help them set up their matches, just kind of learning free deal. Oh, no one can have that because everybody knows everything.
Yep.
Right.
Well, that's when Randy came to me and said, well, we haven't done a Hall of Fame deal in a while, da-da-da-da-da. What do you think about us doing the reunion and doing a Hall of Fame deal? And I'm like, that's fine. That'd be even better. So I thought initially at that point, well, you got PG-13 coming. You got Rock and Roll Express. Now, Bud, you and Izzy tell me this. If you'd have had the opportunity 25 years ago to have a match, Weed versus the Littles, Ricky and Robert's your agent, and then you got Jamie and Wolfie's the agent for the Littles. You guys all go in a room and put together a hell of a match. What would you have done for that?
Right.
It's priceless. You can't buy that experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Other people today are like, no, I already know everything and I don't want to do that. Da, da, da. So that's how it just became a reunion show and doing the Hall of Fame deal. And that's kind of where we got to because, I really wanted to pass on some knowledge and some learning, even for the promoters. There's a lot of stuff that they, not that I know how to do everything, but I mean, a little bit.
Right.
So just,
Pretty damn good
I just
job.
really wanted to be able to, ultimately, in a nutshell, I felt like we got shunned so much and, like we weren't good enough that I didn't want to do that to the people that are out there today. I wanted to say, you know what, we'll be the first ones to open the door and say, hey, let us help y'all.
Right.
And give them some credit, let them be known.
Right.
But I mean, you can't make them do it. So it just got real ugly real quick and it just got kiboshed pretty quick out the gate. So
Yeah, I watched it happen. I sat back and watched it happen with you. We were discussing this as it was happening.
mhm. So, I mean,
Well,
what do you do?
actually, truthfully, look, I was all for, I was 100% hard into the whole KAW reunion thing, that whole first concept, but really, it turned into a much bigger thing than it probably would have been if it would have just been a KAW thing.
The universe works
Turned
on
a hell of a lot more eyes that way for sure.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
I'm gonna say this. I have fought, argued, clawed, and I will demand that our guys get the respect this night, and it's going to happen. You are all going to finally get the respect that you're due, and I hope in a God that all of your families and friends and everybody can be there because everybody be on your best behavior because everybody's getting acknowledged from KAW. There won't be one person that's not acknowledged, represented, and we're going to be acknowledged, and you're going to be represented by the best of the best. And you're going to be acknowledged, and you're going to be represented by the Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame organization, giving you credit for what you did. And, the deal with me, man, I don't even like to talk about it because it's almost embarrassing, but there was no me without you guys. I'm nobody without you guys. And that's all of you. That's, if it wasn't for Motley, and it wasn't for Bull, and it wasn't for Todd Morton and the Littles and the Hollywoods and just the whole down, and Vixen and Tasha, and just Alki, everybody that was a part of our show, man, it's just, we wouldn't be here for, no, there was no one person. There was no superstar. There was no leader.
It was a collaborative.
Big draw. We did it together. We all did it together. So it was a collaborative effort, and my biggest objective is for my guys to get acknowledged because you deserved it. You do deserve it, and I'm going to get it done no matter what I have to do.
Truly,
but you talk about acknowledgement, dude. What's it like for you, man? Here's the thing, 25, 30 years ago, they'd have never put you in the Hall of Fame. 25 years later, now, 2 weeks from now, you're going into the Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame. Did you ever think that would even happen?
I'll be honest with you, I don't even think it's going to happen now. I think there's a swerve coming. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I really haven't taken the time to really think about it and sink it in yet. I don't think it'll hit me till it happens. But just thinking about it right now, it's it's overwhelming. And to be honest with you, you know, I'm not going. We're going. When Randy asked me the night on this podcast, I told him the only way I'm going is if I'm bringing y'all. I mean, you know, I'll be glad to accept, but I'm accepting for you guys, not just for me, because it wouldn't be no me if it wasn't for you.
That's appreciated, but congratulations. I mean, you
very
ran a hell of a show.
Thank you very much. I couldn't have done anything without y'all. I was just one of them. So,
no, I think it's a huge deal, Terry. I'll be honest with you. It's a huge deal for the wrestling business around this area. Here's the thing. You get in, there's no telling who might get in next. You know, it's just as simple as that. We never thought you'd get in.
You're
you
right.
probably never thought you'd get in. So,
it never even crossed my mind.
So by just getting you in, man, that creates hope for a lot of other guys. There's a lot of guys around here that probably deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Motley, for one. We talked about Motley earlier. Yeah. If there's one guy around our area that 100% deserves to be in the Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame too, it's got to be Motley. First and foremost.
He wrestled under every one of those banners you show at the beginning. He wrestled under every one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no doubt, yeah.
And the other thing I was going to say, just to plug how great Motley is if anybody goes on YouTube and they put in David Price versus Bobo Brazil, put in David Price versus Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And this is from the Chase in St. Louis.
Right.
These shows. One of the most established in the NWA, the Sam Muchnick promotions.
Yeah.
And Motley was there. Motley was right there, shoulder to shoulder with those guys. So take nothing away from Motley, man, because
Thank you, Joseph. Sorry.
I mean, if there is a thing called a learning tree, Motley's a stump.
Look, I think
he held us all up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I always like to say that Motley was always the foundation. You know, you had Motley and you had Bull. That were the foundation. And then guys like Ron McClarty was the gatekeepers. You know, if you came to KAW and you couldn't have a match with Ron McClarty, you didn't need to come back.
Right.
You know, I mean, just the same way.
Rock, yeah. I mean, that we had a gauntlet of guys in there that people didn't realize how good they really were until you watch what quality matches you could have with people that weren't really good. I mean, and I don't think these guys will get upset from me saying this. The perfect example is the Littles. They weren't that great of workers when they first started, but when they got the gimmick they could work with, and they didn't have to be crisp wrestlers.
But the Littles came to the gym.
But I mean, by the end of the go. So
yeah, they actually invested their time, and they would come to the gym, and they would work on their craft. After they got started, they'd be at Motley's gym, and I would be working with those guys and putting things together with those guys. Yeah. So they invested once they had their oars in the water, man. They really invested in it, and they took their time as well. So kudos to them.
And then you had masters like Rick House Brown. You know, I got to wrestle him.
Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
You know, some of the people that I've seen on these tapes, man. I mean, like One Man Gang. You know,
sweetheart of a guy, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we had so many guys come through. It was just crazy, you know. I spoke to Reno Riggins a few months ago. You know, I remember Reno being there with
Steve Dahl. Yeah.
But when they were doing the Tennessee Boss deal, you guys got to work with them. I mean, you know, it's just crazy. Tommy Rogers, he's no longer with us either. Tommy was an awesome hand who could work, just did so much stuff in the business.
Yeah, I was fortunate to work with him for you.
Yeah, I mean, just freaking who's who of coming through Memphis for that 15, 20-year period. Again, it is not just because they came to us, but we didn't really book those guys. They called, they wanted to come be a part of it. Every one of those guys wanted to come to us because they had heard, they had, you know, you guys know how it was back then. We still got dirt sheets back then.
Right.
So, I mean, Wolfie Jamie, you know, Dutch Mantell was on our inaugural show Dutch and Doug Gilbert and Mabel, and just the list goes on and on and on and on. There's not really anybody you can really think of that was, Tracy, all those guys. I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
Man. I mean,
I can't tell you, man. One of the greatest blessings from this business, and I'm gonna give a shout out. Everybody go on Amazon, look up Tracy Smothers' book. But to be included in his book, the stories that I told, and to have him share the stories, because Tracy was a blessing to me. Tracy used to go to other territories before it was cool to have cruiserweights, and say, "You gotta see this guy kickboxer and Tarek. Tarek and kickboxer. These are the guys, man. You gotta bring them in." I wouldn't have gotten nearly as far if it wasn't for Tracy Smothers.
Yeah, great guy. Helped everybody.
Yeah, I nothing but love, and shout out to Tracy.
So look, this is kind of, I think this is for all of you guys. This is Joseph Earl Dawson. He says KAW was the alpha of Memphis Southern Extreme Wrestling. And this is a blanket statement for all you guys. What does it make you feel like to know that there's still fans out there that remember KAW this fondly, man? They're out there. I get asked about KAW probably more than I get asked about anything else around here. So for all three of you guys, what's your thoughts on? I mean, because honestly, what did KAW last? Probably 2 years, 2.5 years.
3 years, I think.
About 3 years, yeah.
3 years.
Well, I'll tell you my story real quick. Just a real quick story. I bartended at a hotel here, and we hired this kid. And I had mentioned that I wrestled back in the day. So he texted me a match of mine. And I was wearing a shirt similar to this shirt right here in my wrestling match 25 years ago. And I told him, man, loved that shirt. That was one of my favorite shirts. I hated it when it got torn. He made this shirt for me. And he's like a 24-year-old kid. He loves watching KAW wrestling. And he does all the time on YouTube. But check the shirt out, just like the one that I wore back in the day, except it has sleeves. And that's my story. So yes, KAW and that kind of wrestling in Memphis was big time, and still is if people want to watch it on YouTube.
It's humbling. I mean, I didn't realize how many people were selling our tapes online until here about 3 months ago. But I mean, there's a lot of people selling our shit online that y'all should be getting paid for.
I agree.
And I'll just go full disclosure. If you can collect money on any of them, you can all keep it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, real quick, since Bud showed his shirt and stuff like that, I'll see if you guys can get in on that.
I can't see it. Of course.
I mean, my answer to that question is just humbling, man. It's just humbling, and I agree with you. It's still, it was really like I compare it to like a cult following.
Yeah.
In a weird way, but I mean, it's still around. It's still there. I mean, there's still a lot of people that remember that and grew up on it, and I really think we had a way bigger impact than a lot of the Power Pro and where I don't remember what exactly. I can't think of his name, but I think it was Bluff City at the time. Corey Macklin the show there. I think we had a way bigger impact than some of those shows did, and it was just good timing, to be honest with you. I think that it's the timing and the edginess of us.
Yeah,
we were coming out of the powder puff
era. Exactly. Now that's what I was sitting here thinking. We'd had the same wrestling, and here's the thing: 70s, early mid 80s, some of the greatest wrestling around this area. But it kind of had got by late 80s, it kind of got the same old shit over and over and over all the way, pretty much until boom, KAW come on the scene. And I'll be honest with you. I wasn't one of the originals. I came on later. But man, what hooked me immediately is when that motherfucking TV show come on and that fucking that fucking Shoot to Thrill hit with AC/DC, and it was the real music. I think it was perfect timing, perfect product, man. It was the we don't give a fuck era. And dude, it was the coolest thing. Immediately when I seen that, I knew right then I'm going to have to be on that show somewhere down the line. Immediately when I seen it, it was the coolest show, the coolest intro. And you couldn't get away with that now. We were talking before we went live. I cannot play AC/DC. They will they won't just copyright your video, they'll block it. If it's in it, they will literally block the video. You cannot play it.
Wow.
Let me real quick explain what KAW meant to me. All right. I still use to this day teaching the younger people with production and things like that. The things that being a part of a television production, a weekly television production, that doesn't happen anymore. Do you understand? Being able to be hands-on in a weekly television production, I can't explain how valuable that was, and I can hang my hat on that. And again, all I was a kid with a dream, and I watched it. I was able to live this dream through KAW, man. And if I can encourage anybody to go after every fucking dream you have, because no matter how crazy anybody says you are, I'm sitting here right now. They call me an outlaw, but I'm being called a fucking legend, and I wasn't nothing but a homeless fucking kid at one time. So if I could say anything, man, KAW gave me the ability to live my fucking dreams and go after every dream you have, anybody, because it's so fucking worth it.
Right on, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
just to hear some of the guys talk about what it meant to them, because here's the weird part: we all took it for granted.
Right.
We in the moment we didn't know what we were doing. We wouldn't do cool shit isn't cool till 20 years later when you figure out how cool the shit was. What we did was just mind blowing. And as you were saying, Buster, I think the timing was perfect. We were coming out of the greatest, the 70s and early 80s, and then it kind of went to what I like to refer to as like powder puff wrestling gimmicks. Just
like you said, we tied into pop culture as well.
Yeah, and we were just Stone Cold's before Stone Cold. So it was just cool. What we did was what we did, and we really, here's the scary part that we got away with. We didn't give a shit what we put on TV. We put whatever on TV we wanted to put on. We didn't ask permission. My philosophy was always, we're not asking permission, but we'll ask forgiveness.
Right.
Exactly.
We got away with everything. Some of the got crazy. It's crazy when you really
remember at one point the
just went back and looked at some of the stuff. It's crazy what we got away with. And one good thing going to come out of this is a lot of the footage that we have is going to get out more, and it is going to get, because it's all coming home with Buster, and he's going to be the internet guru, getting all these footage and all these tapes and stuff up and on the internet. Awesome. And the few people that are selling them don't have anything compared to what we really have. So we have it's going to be fun. It'll be good. This is not, the 21st is not the end of the story. There's more to come. So
did I tell you, Terry, what my idea was for them is, normally I break everything down into matches, but truthfully, I'm thinking about taking it, doing the whole shows from show one and putting it on at like 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, right up against all other local wrestling.
Get them out there, get them on YouTube, get them play them all raw, and let them go full from length to length. They're all cropped, edited, ready to go. It'll be good. It'll be there's a lot of cool stuff on there that I'd forgot about. It's crazy how much stuff we did.
Stonewall McGraw says ECW with a sense of humor.
Right. So look, guys, we solved one mystery tonight. We finally figured out what happened to Anita Little. But there's another mystery out there I don't know that we ever solved. And I got a little promo where actually Bud does. So let's watch this, and then I want to answer whether this mystery was ever solved, Bud.
Okay, people of the Mid-South area, I've got a problem. Somebody has stolen my bag. Now, I would describe it to you, but if you know Dr. Bud, you know what kind of bag somebody stole from me. Now, how many people are running for mayor in Memphis? 100, 170? Whoever wins that election, please make it a top priority. Dr. Bud needs his bag back. Anybody else, if you see it, call me, email me, or just mail it back to me. But watch it. They got dogs, so watch that. Just give me a call. I'll come pick it up. Just find my bag, please. Find my bag. Look.
All right, so Bud, I know you guys were searching for that bag. You had signs on the side of the road. Did we ever locate this bag, man?
Yeah, that scumbag and Hall of Famer Jamie Dundee.
So Jamie done snitched your bag, man.
He got a proper ass for that, though.
That's funny. Yeah, you're never getting that back.
Here's the thing. You talk about cool, crazy stuff. I mean, literally, these guys were on the side of the road in Jackson, Tennessee, holding up signs, "Have you seen my bag?"
Yeah,
now, I mean,
cop driving by with a cop driving. We got that on video. That was awesome.
He said someday.
You all right, Izzy?
Oh shit.
Yeah, we turned Hollywood upside down and shook him looking for that bag, man.
Speaking of Hollywood, has Hollywood not been put in pretty much every situation at KAW there's ever been to put a midget into, man?
Hey, I have been doing lucha libre. If there's a match somewhere where I had him doing lucha spots with me.
Absolutely, I remember that. He had you in the head scissors takedown. I remember all that, all the way to the flipping and the arm drag.
Yeah. Well, I did all that.
I mean, he was very talented in his heyday. He was very talented.
Yeah, man, that's what people don't realize. Dixie, Arkansas, one Sunday, Mikey and Hollywood took on me and Ron and Sam in Dixie. If y'all ever been to Dixie, you know what it looks like. Dude, we had one of the greatest matches, most entertaining matches. Me and Hollywood started this match out, and we done a lot of, it was kind of cartoon stuff, but with wrestling involved too. Hollywood would do this little lollipop thing, stomp your toes, and I had him bite me in the ass and chase me out the ring and stuff. One of the greatest matches I've ever had, period now, with Hollywood. And he don't get enough credit for being able to work as good as Hollywood could actually work in the ring, man.
Izzy worked with him a lot at the beginning. Izzy
he's really good.
And once again, that is all pretty much credited to Motley Crue.
You're right.
The foundation, the stump, I call it.
Well, guys, look, we're 2 weeks away. We're all going to be together the first time in 20 years.
25 years.
There you go, man.
All time.
I'm so looking forward to it. I'm going to be there doing some live stuff. And you guys know, my table's the KAW table. The camera's going to be on during the meet and greet. Man, you guys, all of y'all, you ain't got to ask. No matter who's in the shot, walk on in. Let's have a fucking good time, man. I'm really looking forward to this thing.
I am too. Like I said, I'm honored to be on.
But I want to challenge you.
People.
You ready?
Right.
Izzy, you can be the ref, all right?
I'm wrestling?
No.
Chinese chopper?
Who can hit Buster in the head with a chair first?
Oh, hell no. I don't know. Hey, I almost would rather take a chair shot than a ring bump, man. I took a bump in the ring a few months ago. First one I took in 9 years, man. Yeah, I'd almost take that chair shot to the head first, man.
Oh, brother, this girl right here teaches dance at the community center on Friday.
Yeah.
And they have a little mat down, and I did a shoulder roll and got dizzy. I used to do shoulder rolls around Izzy when we came into the ring, and I got dizzy on one shoulder roll, bro.
Wow.
I had a training spot for sure. Yes, he did.
Well, guys, I guess we're going to start wrapping this thing up. Man, all of y'all, obviously, Bud, I've been trying to get you on. I tried to get you on when I first got Izzy on, man. Me and Izzy actually did a Wrestling with Weed, a podcast. So that's what.
Remember, I watched it. I just didn't want to be on it.
Well, we need to do it again. And Izzy said something about maybe us doing a live smoke out, man. Exactly. So we may actually do that, man. I think it'd be cool.
I'm out of that one.
Are you talking about in Jackson, Tennessee? We will talk about that later, sir.
Yeah.
So, guys, for real, I appreciate all you guys for coming on. It's been a blast. These are the shows I've been looking forward to, the KAW shows. I got Ron coming on Wednesday. I've got Rocker next Wednesday or Tuesday, I think.
What a talent.
A lot going on up till the 21st, but man, I can't wait to see all you guys in person so we ain't got to talk through screens, man.
Good deal. Hey, I thank you guys for everything you're doing to help with this event. I cannot wait to see you guys. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to, we're just going to pull over some chairs. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk. We're going to hang out. We're going to eat a lot of food. We're going to have a good time.
Awesome.
Budweiser's sponsoring the event. So there's some other things going on. We know how much Buster likes to drink beer. We're going to have a good time. I've been telling you, man, I look so forward to seeing you guys. Cannot wait.
I'll go beer with you, Golden.
Deal.
Oh, hell no, man. Hell no. I don't even like the sound of that.
Izzy, I'll go blunt for blunt with you, bro.
I'll definitely go blunt for blunt with you guys for sure.
Let me tell you a quick story. Hold on, quick story about me drinking, okay? And this is when I lived with Bud. He's laughing now because he knows the story. I might have said some foul shit to this girl at his place, but anyhow, she had taken me out, and I don't drink. I don't drink at all. And she had taken me out, and I was trying to be social. And we get back to Bud's apartment, and we're sitting there hanging out, and everybody's cool. I might have said some foul shit to her, but 5 seconds after she walked out the door, I was projectile vomiting. Okay. And Bud's like, wow, that really impressive. You kept it together that long.
So look, Golden.
Yeah.
I hope we don't embarrass you. You know, with the KAW guys, man. When the meet and greet comes around, they open the door. We ought to all be passed out on the tables and shitting in the floor. You never know.
Yeah, I've been playing.
Hey, whatever happens is going to happen, but it's going to happen one more time.
There you go, man. I'm looking forward to it. Terry, man, I appreciate you popping in with these guys, man, so much. I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, boss.
Yeah, man. Look forward to seeing Golden.
Thanks for allowing me to get in here with y'all. I told Buster I wanted to pop in with y'all because I miss y'all and can't wait to see you all. Bring your families, bring everybody you can. Both of y'all get with me this week and we'll work out some details. But look forward to seeing everybody, man. It's going to be amazing.
Right on, man.
Take it easy, Terry.
Right on. Love you.
Love you guys.
All right, guys, man. Look, man, I appreciate you guys. Weed reunited right here tonight and going to be reunited in Jackson, Tennessee on September 21st. Big deal. Might even have a smoke out. Might go blunt for blunt. Who knows? How am I going to go blunt for blunt with weed, man? How's that going to work?
Not good for you, but we'll see, bro. I mean, you could be you could be one of those undercover smokers that smoke both.
Hold on a second. If we do this, if we do it like this, we've got to have the third member of Weed with us.
Motley Garcia?
Fucking A right, man. It wouldn't be right if we didn't have Motley Garcia with us, man. He can play Motley Cruz with those guys, man, but we know Motley Garcia. And Motley Garcia's got to be involved.
He wasn't much of a smoker, though, man. He couldn't hold his smoke very well.
Man, I'll tell you what, man. I've been smoking since I was 13. I think I can go blunt for blunt with you guys. I'm more confident in that than going beer for beer with Golden. I'll tell you that.
All right, well, I'm going to bring my dab rig, and we'll try that out, too, bro.
Man, there you go. I thought about bringing some edibles myself. That way we can eat them during the show.
Hell yeah.
Guys, I appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, thank you guys for coming on.
I'll give a shout out real quick.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I want to, number one, give a shout out to the Gypsy crew, man. If I wouldn't have done KAW and things like that, it wouldn't have opened doors as well to and give me the deals that I had and have had. Right now, I'll be teaching in Mountain Air, New Mexico, coming up in October 12th. And we have a super stacked show put together by the Gypsy crew. And Best Wrestling, our promotion stands for Blood, Emotion, Sweat, and Tears. And we do our shows once a year in Mountain Air, New Mexico. And yeah, it's an absolute blast. It's free for this whole town. It's a big party we put together as a Gypsy crew. And I can't wait. Dr. Bud, I'm telling you what, I can't wait. Savannah, I can't wait to hug you around the neck, baby girl. I haven't seen you in forever. It's been 3 Christmases ago or 4 Christmases ago.
Yeah, about that. Hey, Buster, tell Ron McClarty we said hi.
I'll have him on Wednesday, man.
And Sexy Sam, too. Tell him we said hi.
He'll be there, too, man. Both of them will be at the show.
Awesome. Can't wait to see him.
Izzy, man, I appreciate you coming on, dude, and you have a great night, my friend.
Man, I love you guys. I will see you so soon. Dr. Bud, Savannah, love you guys.
Peace.
Thank you.
Take it easy, Buster.
All right, Bud. I appreciate you coming on, dude. And Savannah, I appreciate you coming on, too. I'm glad I got to meet you, and I can't wait to meet you in person, girl.
All right, Buster. Bye.
Bye-bye, Bud. Take it easy. All right, y'all. You seen it right there. KAW Outlaws and Legends. Weed, Wrestling's Extreme Execution, Daredevils. Dr. Bud Ganja and Izzy High. Don't miss the 21st. September the 21st, 2 weeks from now, Jackson, Tennessee. The Picture Perfect Event Center. Going to be a huge meet and greet starting at 3:30. I think it's 7. The tribute to Jerry Lawler and them start. And then after that, I think it's the Hall of Fame ceremony where our main man, Terry Golden's going in. Guys, I want to thank everybody who tuned in, everybody who interacted with us, and especially my guests for coming on. I'll see you guys Wednesday night. I'm back with Ron McClarty, 8 p.m. bell time.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate